This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
What? It's Waterfall Wednesday. Hey, everybody, it is the After Party Live. Thank you for being here. Please click the subscribe button. Even if this isn't your normal show that you watch, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Trying to build my way up to 2,500. And I know that's low, but you know what? It's the little show that could. So we're going to keep going. And thank you for the subscriptions. Please also click the like button. If you could do that, it's such a big help. Did Kim forget she has a second show today? Kim did not forget. Kim is here, absolutely doing the second show. Kim did forget to turn off the music and unclick the loop, so I will do that. I like Trump referring to myself in the third person all of a sudden. Okay, so yeah, there is a meetup this weekend at Testarossa Winery in Los Gatos for people that love the Mark Thompson show, that have formed these relationships. Everyone is meeting at the Testarossa Winery in Los Gatos. Get a hold of Deidre. She is making the reservations, so it's going to be a really fun event. I'm going to see if I can come. I don't know if I can or not, but I will be in Santa Cruz for a Petaluma High School band competition, so I'll be nearby. And if I'm able to, depends on how long the award ceremony goes. If I'm able to do it, I will. Huge thank you right off the bat to Debbie Sanchez, who throws down $10 saying, I hope, love Missouri Blue. Debbie, are you in Missouri? I wrote some postcards to Missouri. I know we don't get political on this show, but I wrote some postcards to Missouri. This weekend, I'm planning to write some to Michigan as well. I have a group of moms and we get together and write postcards, sometimes do some phone banking and do what we can do. You know, on the Mark Thompson show, interviewing Corey Brettschneider, the constitutional law and political science professor from Brown University and author of this new book, talking about what we can do to step up for the U.S. Constitution. As patriots in our own lives, every little thing helps. If you're in one of these swing states, help their organizations online where you can help people that need a ride to the polls. Doesn't matter how they're voting, help them use their voice. These are things that are so important. Little things that we can do could make an actual difference here. Okay. Looking forward to some beautiful waterfalls. Well, I have some beautiful waterfalls to you. We'll get to them a little bit later. As you know, it is Waterfall Wednesday. And so we will be looking at some waterfalls, Nullifidian, in New York. This is by request, and I don't know who made the request. I think I've forgotten, but we're going to Finger Lakes, New York. And we're going to check out some waterfalls here. And boy, are they gorgeous. And they're all in the same area. So if you're a waterfall hunter, wow, you can see all of them in almost one day. So beautiful. So that is coming up here on the After Party Live. Debbie says, yes, I'm from Missouri or in Missouri, moved from California in July, retired after 42 years in real estate in Placer County. Debbie, congratulations on your retirement. I hope you're enjoying Missouri, and I love that you're taking your California vote to a swing state where it makes a huge difference. So I love the thought of you. I'm going to visualize the thought of you voting in a swing state, and this is going to carry me through as I get more and more nervous about everything else. Ooh, Rev P says Placer is lovely. It absolutely is. Every time Kim says Waterfall Wednesday in my head, I hear Lawrence Welk saying, a waterfall, a waterfall. You think I'm like Lawrence Welk? Don't say that. When I remember being at my grandparents' house on the weekends, we would go for dinner, and on, is it Sunday nights, Lawrence Welk would be on, and we'd all have to sit around the TV and watch it. I know, that's how old I am. Be aware, don't go chasing waterfalls. Yeah, that's true. What else? I have more. Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's get into some of these stories. This picture is wild. Absolutely wild. Ooh, let me take that off the screen. I know we've talked about on this show and on the Mark Thompson show, we have talked about Tesla's new vehicles. And I know Jefferson Graham touched on it this week. Mostly the car. I don't know if we've really talked about the van. That's the van and the car. I know it's a little weird looking. It is futuristic. And when we thought way back when of what things would look like in 2025, and you thought maybe it would look like a sci-fi movie, well, it looks like that has arrived. One of the things that Elon Musk, however nutty he may be, has said is that they want to change the look of the roads. Musk says the future should look like the future. He said tried to do it with the Cybertruck, and now he's doing it with these vehicles as well. He said, "Can you imagine going down the streets and seeing one of these coming toward you? Quote, that'd be sick." Dude, you're not an 18-year-old kid, okay? Come on. So Musk has unveiled the driverless robo taxi and this surprise robo van. He did it at the We Robot event in Los Angeles. It was held at the Warner Brothers Studios. This is a fully autonomous robo taxi. He's calling it a cyber cab. And he brought forward this robo taxi. And here's a picture of just the robo taxi. It can carry up to 20 people. They said it was the star of the show, this thing. This fully autonomous robo van is made to be kind of retro futuristic, which I know sounds contraindicated, but it's not. It's got a shape that is based on the streamlined Art Deco trains from the 1920s and 30s. I can see that. It has no visible front or rear windows. It has a single slim headlight across its front. You can see the big headlight or the thicker line, and that extends to multiple bands that run around the vehicle that light up. So no traditional headlight or window. It doesn't need that, you see, because it has sensors. This Robovan was designed deliberately to have a different aesthetic to existing vehicles. He said this vehicle is going to solve high density. It could also be used to transport goods as well. And here's what it looks like inside. You could put stuff in there. You could put 20 people in there, whatever configuration you're looking for. He said if you want to take a sports team somewhere, or if you're looking to really get the cost of travel down, he said to 5-10 cents a mile, then you can use the Robovan. It has no steering wheel. It has no pedals. It's I think this is a little scary. Not that in a current robo taxi that you would be able to commandeer it at all. I don't know why the idea of a vehicle with no pedals, steering wheel, controls at all that could be flipped over in an emergency freaks me out so much. You really have to put your trust in the fact that this vehicle is going to get you from point A to point B and everything's going to be fine. Yeah. So here's what Musk is saying for these two vehicles, all right? The car and the taxi. Sorry, the robo taxi and the robo van. He says, and you look at these things and think, oh, this is going to be far off in the future, right? That's not what he's saying. He's saying, first of all, that this car will cost below $30,000. And he says the car you see here will be for sale in 2026 or 2027. That's the Cybercab. He said of the van, that is it, the car 2026, 2027. He said he thinks the autonomous Cybercab will be built in 2026, but he says that he usually may be a little too optimistic with timeframes, but definitely before 2027, and that they plan to make that vehicle in very high volume. Now, he didn't say when this robo van will be available. Don't know. But the golden car that you see here, 2027. Would you buy it? Would you drive it? And doesn't it assume that laws will be changed, that all of the testing that has to be done with these autonomous vehicles that don't even have a steering wheel or pedal will be legally allowed on the streets of California, the United States? Because if I buy a car for 30 grand, however much I'm spending, I want to be able to drive it into other states. So it needs to be legal all over the place. And that can take some time. Now we'll see. Yeah. Interesting design, though. I'm kind of liking the truck. I'm going to the chat. Do you trust it? Are you climbing aboard that Robovan? What are you thinking? Hmm. BA Ware says Elon initially said the Cybertruck would cost from 39,900. Now you can't buy it for much less than $100,000. Yeah. Mindy says Musk does not treat his employees well. Do not buy one of these vehicles. John Watson agrees, never going to buy anything from Elon Musk. I think, and you heard Mark Thompson say this yesterday, I think it was, talking about how his Tesla lease is coming up and whether or not he wants to, get another Tesla. And it's not the first person I've heard say that, given Musk's strange political issues as of late, we'll call them issues, with the jumping for joy and the crazy things he has to say, that it seems like, you kind of vote with your pocketbook, right? And do you want to put your money into this? Some people have Teslas, not getting rid of Teslas just because the guy behind the company is nutso. But if you have to make a choice today, is that where you're going to put your money? And I don't know. I don't know. John Watson says it looks like something out of RoboCop. It really does. And that's the one thing where I think he kind of, I don't know, piques my interest in a way when he says the future should look like the future. That we should start designing vehicles to look different and futuristic. I would like to see them operate in a futuristic way more than I would like to see them look in a futuristic way, without polluting the environment, smart decisions made in the way we make cars rather than how they look. But I do think that van is kind of cool looking. It almost looks like it's running on tracks. Oh, John Doe says it looks like a toaster. It kind of does look like a toaster, doesn't it? Ready for your bread? Pop. The future is now, says Nullifidian. SF Tesla says, I'd swear the same person who designed the Cybertruck has something to do with the robotaxi. I think that you would be correct. Their whole point is, and Elon Musk says it, to have the cars of the future look like the future. It'd be cool if the toast popped out of the top, provide butter and some jelly. And that's what people are going to be calling it too. The toaster's on the way. Yeah. Looks like the 50s image of the year 2000, says Trevor. Gordon says the Cybertruck has a headlight similar to this one. Oh, does it? I've never looked at the headlight or focused on it. And robots we trust? No thanks. You really giving up total control? I know you are in current robotaxis as well. I get that. Something about having it look like a normal car to me isn't quite as scary, even if there's no one sitting in the driver's seat. I don't know what it is about having no steering wheel, like having no option for a manual override, that freaks me out a little bit. Mindy says, you buy this thing, the proceeds go to Musk, and he's not a great guy. Now you poured $75 million into Trump PACs. I know we don't get political, but that's the facts. Nullifidian says, I no longer trust anything Musk puts out. No. Let him drive them on Mars, says Teacher Lori. Maybe they'll work on Mars. Those wheels look really funky, don't they? I don't know. Karen says he's trying to be the Steve Jobs of cars. No way. Harry says it's another Elon failure, 5 years behind the market. B.A. Ware says the neighbor has one. It must mean the Cybertruck. It's one long strip for the front headlight. It is so ugly. And Teacher Lori asked the question, whose vision of the future? Why should everyone imagine the same look? of the future as Musk. Harry says Waymo discovered everyone wants to see a steering wheel, even if they can't do anything with it. Yeah, it's like a, you know, I don't know, it's like a dramatic play in the mind, right? That you just feel like you, for whatever reason, could if you needed to. Uh, okay, let's move on to our next story because I know, you love your animals, you love your creatures. Could you love this creature instead? What if you didn't have to pay a vet bill? What if you didn't have to fork out money for pet food? That's expensive. I have a golden retriever. Food is not cheap. What if you didn't have to go get the yearly shots? What if you didn't have to scoop up the poop in the backyard or clean the cat litter box or what have you? Because instead, you had this AI powered pet. Remember the brand Casio? I think they used to make uh calculators, right? And watches. Yeah. They think, Casio, that this AI powered fur ball can replace your pet. There's something about a real animal with a soul and a personality and a living creature that allows us to connect, that allows us to love. I'm not saying this wiggling robot isn't lovable. They call it Mouflin, Moflin, Mouflin. And they say this Mouflin pet robot will always be by your side in your heart. It's a hypoallergenic robot pet. Mouflin is being called soothing and adorable. It's an AI powered fur ball that becomes attached to its owner. They are only accepting pre orders for Mouflin in Japan right now. The release date of Mouflin is November 7th. It's kind of this hamster like looking, furry little fake pet. They have a, oh my goodness. It comes in, I have another picture for you. It comes in either gold or silver fur. There's the gold and there's the silver, Mouflin. This is not, I mean, I know it looks like a joke, but it's not a joke. Owners turn to Mouflin in times of stress or relaxation. You can cuddle with your Mouflin. You can take it out with you on a picnic. It doesn't really walk, it wiggles in place depending on the interaction. But the movements do appear less robotic than mechanical animal stand ins of the past. But its eyes are kind of dull and beady. I don't know. I don't know about this. Mm. It costs about $400, the Mouflin. Each one includes an official Moff Life dedicated app. You can sign up for the additional paid subscription service, offering discounted hospitalization and fur care fees. The faux animal's internal programming allows it to build a deeper bond with an owner through voice and gesture based recognition software. Trust is apparently earned with the Mouflin, but it takes a few months for it to fully develop into a strange uh, back and forth of affection and emotion. You can talk and interact with it. It responds positively. Ignore it or startle Mouflin, and it will feel negative emotions. It's kind of creepy. Like, what does it do to you? They say Mouflin's movements and voice are childish, but they say you will start to get attached to this little thing. Around day 50 is when owners can expect their fully matured Mouflin to offer unique cooing noises and wriggling movements from a range of 4 million different combinations, according to the press release. What does that mean? We don't know. Uh, Mouflin has a 5-hour battery life. And so it doesn't really hold up to, a regular pet when you have to plug in your pet. Takes about 3.5 hours in this bed-like cradle to recharge it. They say the costs are likely far less than owning a living, breathing pet. And it's not like the palm-sized gerbil isn't cute, but it's just not the same thing. So, will it be like a Furby? Will the negative emotions turn people off? I don't know. I don't see animal lovers giving up their cats for a Mothman. I don't know. Teacher Lori says it needs to cost about a fourth of that. $400 is way too much. Nolaphidian says I see them on Google for about 400 up to about 1700. Wow. No. John Doe says, why don't they just make robot dogs and cats already? Too expensive, says Gordon. Nope. Kay in Santa Rosa says, maybe when I'm in a facility and I can't have a real pet. Yikes. John Doe says, your pet will be spying on you. That's a concern, isn't it? Yeah, kind of Furby-ish. That's the thing. I mean, maybe a little more technically advanced than a Furby. I don't know. A Tribble? Cute, as long as there's no trouble with tribbles. Don't want any trouble with these little guys. And what are the negative emotions? Like, what does it come after you? Does it say, you suck? I don't know. Okay, so it comes with a video. This story comes with a video. And I kind of want to see this thing in action. Are you interested? You guys want to see this thing? It's kind of a promotional video, so I might have to turn off the sound. But here's what it looks like. This crazy thing. Here it is. I don't know. I don't think I want this thing at my house. Here's what it looks like. Hopefully this works. I'll turn off the sound. Oh, that's a nice house. Okay, so see, we can all relate. And there's your weird little pet.
一緒にのんびりしたり
You can hear some of the sounds it makes there. Here it is.
一緒にはしゃいだり
Okay, I think it looks robotic and mechanical. And it sits next to you and it makes these weird little noises. I don't know, you guys. $400 for that. 3.5 hours of recharging at night. Maybe if you had nothing else and no one else, I would think even if I'm alone on a desert island, starving for contact, this thing still isn't going to fit the bill. No. And I'm not taking it to my bed with me. Absolutely not. It's a toy. It's not a living creature. Is this the future we want? This is weird. Yeah.
私たち
All right. So that's the video of the Mothman. I think I'm even more creeped out by it than I was before. I'm saying thumbs down to the Mothman. Let's go to some more animal stories. How about some real animals this time around? This I think should be expected. Who is surprised that this bear visited the University of Montana campus, right? It followed a student, wandered right into campus at about 5 a.m, and was spotted near a bike rack at the University of Montana near Craig Hall. The bear followed a student for a short time. This bear did not act in an aggressive manner, despite how big it is. The officers located the bear. Police officers, they asked all students and faculty members to steer clear of the area until the bear was removed from campus. That it was. And apparently now it's back in the wild. But yeah, at the University of Montana, I think that has to be something that is expected. The Los Angeles Dodgers got a little visitor. Did you see this story? They had a snake show up in the dugout. Yeah. Kind of a crazy situation. And not that it was a big snake or that it was a particularly threatening snake. I don't think it was a rattler or anything like that, but it's just not normal to see this kind of creature in the dugout at a Dodgers game. And so here's what it looked like.
My God, there's a snake.
I'll turn off the sound, but there's the snake. See, it's kind of a little one. There it is. Bravo to whoever did this, the macho man who grabbed it. There it is. Just not something you would see every day. Oh, there's a snake. How it got in there is weird, because you would think, I don't know, I mean, it would have to come from outside, and think of all the, getting into the stadium, it'd have to travel. So that's kind of weird. But that happened game 2 of the Major League Baseball National League series that was in the Dodgers dugout. They got that one out there pretty quickly. There is, it's a slow news day on SF Gate when you publish this story. They had this creature wash up on a beach in Southern California, and it looked pretty creepy. It is pretty creepy. It turns out it's a moray eel. Not uncommon to see one. And people were thinking, why does it look like that? That's not what a moray eel looks like. It had been dead for a while. So it kind of got bleached out, laying on the beach in the sun, lost its color because it, died. But that's what it is. So a lot of people were thinking, oh my God, it looks like an ancient sea creature. What is this thing? Yeah, no, it's just a moray eel washed up on a Southern California beach. This kind of pale and mangled looking. It washed ashore on Laguna Niguel, and there were thousands of people talking about this thing online. It's just a common moray eel. That's it. I just thought it was funny that it made it to SF Gate. And I'll give you this. It made me click on it because the picture's so interesting, but still, come on. It's just a moray eel. This creature is a little bit more interesting. This is a cat, an exotic caracal cat. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, if it's carousel or caracal, but it got free and was on the loose in a suburb in Chicago. And the people in this area are being warned to keep an eye out for this species of wild cat that's native to Asia and to Africa. It was spotted near the Hilldale Golf Course, and no one knows from whence it came. That's the scary part. Who has this at their house? So right now, the residents are working with local and federal agencies to find this creature and remove it. They're saying, please don't feed this animal. They would like to capture it and offer it a new home at a zoo or a wildlife facility. This is in the Hoffman Estates area. It's a suburb of Chicago. They're asking people, if you come across this animal, please use caution. If you see it or if you know the whereabouts of it, please call the police. This is one of these exotic animals that, people like to have at their house for some reason. There's no nearby sanctuary or zoo saying they're missing one of these creatures. So how it got loose in this residential neighborhood near Chicago, I mean, I guess the only reasonable thought is that someone tried to keep this thing as a pet. Yikes. I hope Cranky Charcoal is here for this next story, because I don't know how to pronounce this game and I had to look it up. There is a world conquer scandal. It's CONCER. The pronouncer says conquer. And this is a game where each player swings a horse chestnut on a string to try to break the one that is held by your opponent. So you're trying to break a horse chestnut. This is the game of Conquer. Very popular in the UK, to the point where with this story, they didn't even explain what the game was. I had to go look for the information. They had the World Conquer Championships, and now there's a big cheating scandal. The winner was found with a steel chestnut. Organizers are now looking at video evidence, but they believe the steel conker was kept in the winner's pocket throughout. Why would you have a steel one unless you were going to use it? The men's champion in the World Conker Championships, his name is David Jakins, 82 years old. He won the event on Sunday. It was his first win after competing since 1977. So he's been trying to win this thing for years. He's a veteran player known as King Conker. You see him here. And he recorded several victories in which he destroyed the other player's conker with one hit. Now, one of the other players raised the alarm, saying his conker disintegrated in one hit, and that just doesn't happen. A fake steel conker painted brown was later found in Mr. Jakins' pocket. He is denying using it at the tournament. He said he only had it with him for humor value. Right. Mr. Jakins says he helped prepare other players' conkers, which are selected randomly from a sack. He denied any suggestion that he marked the strings to highlight harder nuts. The chairman of the organizing committee at the Conker Championship says that his conker was indistinguishable from a real one, the weight of it being steel the only giveaway. At this point, they don't suspect foul play. Mr. Jakins is calling cheating claims a load of nonsense. The Conker folks say they are currently of the mind to think the win was fair and that the steel conker was kept in the pocket throughout, but they're still looking to complete the last part of their investigation. That he was being closely watched by judges during the competition, and they don't think he used it. They think it was impossible for him to cheat. I don't know. Why would you bring us, it's like if you aren't allowed to, let's take an American and say it's the game of baseball and say you're only allowed to use a wooden bat, no steel bats. You don't bring a steel bat to the game as a joke. You don't. So why would you do it unless you were going to cheat? So I don't know. Seems like he had an awful long time of playing this game and never won a competition until he had the steel conker in his pocket. I'm going to the chat. Is Cranky Charcoal here? What's going on with the game of Conker? Why is this such a big to-do? I don't see Cranky today. Karen says it defies logic, especially since he's been competing and losing for so long, right? Nullifidian says it's even possible to cheat at chess. Well, it's really interesting that you say that. God, I saw a story earlier. Let me look it up really quickly. There's a grand master of chess that was disqualified because he was seen using a cell phone. The story comes out today. This chess grandmaster, that's cheating. These people. Now, who knows if this man was cheating? But here's my point. If you're a chess grandmaster or you've played Conker since 1977 and you know the rules, then and this game means a lot to you, then why would you even have the appearance of impropriety? Why would you even do this? So here's another story, and thanks for mentioning it, Nullifidian Chess. This guy, okay? Yeah. This guy is a chess grandmaster. His name is Kirill Shevchenko, and he has been expelled from competition. Makes me think of Harry Potter, expelled. He has been expelled from competition for allegedly using a cell phone during chess matches. He's from Romania. He got expelled from this national level competition because he was using a mobile device during play. That's a no-no. He's currently ranked 69th in the chess world rankings. He was competing at the Spanish team championship in Melilla when the alleged instance of cheating occurred. Oh, does it mean that he was cheating because he used a cell phone? Likely not. But again, why would you do this if there's any question mark, right? His draws in the opening 2 rounds of competition for the Cilia Integrant Collectius team were turned into defeats. The Spanish Chess Federation identified the reason for his expulsion as the usage of mobile devices during the playing of his matches. The FEDA, the Spanish Chess Federation, maintains its firm commitment against cheating in chess, acting in the strongest possible way in any case which is detected. They say, "We profoundly regret that these events have occurred. We wish to state that in any case, this individual behavior has nothing to do with the impeccable performance of this club and the rest of the team members." They are rejecting in the strongest, most blunt way whichever practice of illegal or illicit strategy used in unsportsmanlike way to gain any advantage. And they have terminated their relationship with Shevchenko. He raised suspicion when he started spending long periods away from the board during the opening rounds of the tournament. A cell phone was later found in a toilet cubicle alongside a note in a script similar to his handwriting, according to chess.com. See? Scandalous. The Romanian Chess Federation says, "We're waiting for solid evidence before we draw any conclusions here." They're waiting for details on the case and to study the evidence. So far, we only have press reports and alleged witnesses. So here's the thing. If you have something going on, your wife's pregnant, someone is sick in the hospital, right? Give your cell phone to some judge at the event and say, if there's a message that comes through that you feel like I need to respond to, please let me know. I have this situation in my life that's happening and I want to be at the competition, but I need this, information from my deathly ill family member, whatever it may be. But if you hide your cell phone in the potty and you're taking notes, that doesn't look good for you, friend. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Last year, this chess player was ranked 39th in the world. See, if you have to cheat, then maybe you shouldn't be a grandmaster. I'm just saying. No. There's a lot of money involved in chess these days, says Nullifidian. Not very good sportsmanship, says Miss Organic. Chatbot, what's my next move? Nullifidian says, sucks to be him. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bummer. Cheaters. Even if you're not a cheater, it's sure a bad look, isn't it? Yikes. Okay, let's talk about this secret tomb. Oh, if I don't go to Waterfall Wednesday, we might not have enough time for it. I'll do Secret Tomb and then I'll take you to New York to do the waterfalls. But first, let's talk about the secret tomb and the remains of 12 skeletons discovered at Petra site in Jordan. These grave offerings found in this hidden tomb beneath a treasury monument in Petra, Jordan. The monument is incredible. Archaeologists discovered a secret tomb inside of this thing, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. This long buried tomb had the remains of 12 ancient skeletons and grave offerings, and it was found beneath the monument after research teams used remote sensing technology. There were similar remains found more than 2 decades ago on the other side of this famous monument, which, by the way, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. More than 1 million people come here to visit every year. Doesn't it seem weird that so many people have been in this area not knowing that right on the side and right underneath are all these skeletons and these secret tombs? The treasury is at the center of an entire city carved by hand into the walls of a desert canyon by the Nabatean people 2,000 years ago. Still don't know exactly what its purpose is, but University of St. Andrews and the Jordanian Department of Antiquities and the American Center of Research were given permission to do some remote sensing in and around this monument. So British and American researchers came in, they were assessing conditions of these areas using electromagnetic conductivity and ground penetrating radar, and that is when they found these underground chambers. They did a little excavating and they found the tomb. One of the skeletons discovered was grasping the top part of a broken jug that most likely dates to the 1st century BC. I'm telling you, this archaeological dig was like Raiders of the Lost Ark. The remains most likely include both men and women, ranging in age from children to adults. Researchers think this discovery could provide new insight into the treasury and into the people that lived in this area. It is of international significance as very few complete burials from the early Nabateans have ever been recovered from Petra before. The burials, their goods, the human remains can all be expected to help fill the gaps of our knowledge into how Petra came to be and who these people were. The walls within this tomb have been dated between the mid 1st century BC and the early 2nd century AD. The excavation of this newly revealed tomb is now the subject of a 2-part episode of the American reality TV series Expedition Unknown on the Discovery Channel. So if I've piqued your interest with this, then be aware there's a lot more where that came from. How fascinating is that? You know what? If I had seen this before, this is where we would have gone on Travel Tuesday. Maybe next week we'll check this place out. Come on, this is crazy. But right now, we are going to an incredible place, New York, for Waterfall Wednesday. I feel like I should have the sound of rushing water in the background. It'll make everyone have to run to the bathroom all at once. No, don't go. So these are the top waterfalls to visit in Finger Lakes, New York. This comes by request. And here is I have the pictures all ready and set up for you. This is a beautiful area. Check this out. Just gorgeous. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, so pretty. The first one is called this one. Yeah, Top Finger Lakes Waterfalls, Secret Spots and Famous Falls. This comes from the website gofingerlakes.org from the Finger Lakes Land Trust. How beautiful is that picture? This waterfall rushing down this hillside. It's just so pretty. I can almost picture standing there, hearing what it looks like or hearing what it sounds like. The first one is called Lick Brook Gorge. And here's a picture of it. Look at those fall colors. So amazing. Lick Brook Gorge. During the last ice age, glaciers, thousands of feet thick, blanketed much of North America. And that's what they say sculpted the topography of the Finger Lakes region. The effects of these glaciers can be seen in multiple waterfalls that splash down along Lick Brook on its journey to Cayuga Lake. One of them is nearly 140 feet tall. The Finger Lakes Land Trust's Lick Brook Gorge Preserve hosts a popular stretch of the Finger Lakes Trail that runs along the gorge. Hikers can continue along the trail to Buttermilk Falls State Park to the east and Robert H. Tremont State Park to the west. And I'm telling you, you want to go to the Buttermilk Falls State Park because it's really incredible. Let's check out the next one. Look at that. Come down these old steps and all of a sudden, you've got multiple waterfalls right in front of you. Tinker Falls and Labrador Hollow, very unique area. It's about a quarter-mile path down, but it's a really popular destination. It's an example of a hanging falls. Over time, the crumbly shale beneath the crest of the waterfall has washed away, leaving an undercut capstone, a deep crevice behind an impressive waterfall. I love these waterfalls where you could get behind. You're going to see it in movies. You stand behind it and watch the waterfall from the other side. The cavern behind the Tinker Falls is 100 feet wide, 30 feet deep, and 30 feet high. They say walking behind it is possible if you're brave and you're agile enough to climb the steep stone staircase set into the crumbly shale. You can see the staircase on the side there. You can walk around behind the waterfall. I mean, pretty incredible picture there. Let's go to Buttermilk Falls State Park. This is along the southern edge of Ithaca. Look at that. It's this massive waterfall pouring down these shale cliffs into this mossy green area. Buttermilk Falls, a very popular spot for tourists and local residents, especially during the summer. And they say it's this frothy, foaming waterfall that falls into a deep pool. There's a dammed swimming area. The park's namesake, Buttermilk Falls, tumbles down a striated gorge rock in two distinct drops. The first, nearly 90 feet in height, lies beside the trail that ascends quickly away from the swimming area. The second is visible just above the first from a stone lookout. Wow. It's incredible. Go to the next one. And I don't know if I'm saying the name of this right. Tuffanock Falls State Park. This is another one of these. Look at, you can go behind there with this cavern and look at the waterfall from the other side. If, again, you were agile enough to make it happen. The gorge at Tuffanock Falls is the biggest of all of them in this area, perhaps more accurately described as a canyon. The waterfall at the end of the lower portion of the gorge is the tallest waterfall in New York State. It is the tallest single drop waterfall east of the Rockies, as a matter of fact. 215 feet high. Niagara Falls is 167 feet high. The mile-long trail within the canyon is nearly level. It's easily accessed, making it an excellent trip for members from the family, whether you're bringing toddlers, grandparents, everyone else. This is something for everyone. I don't know. Does it not seem like it's that tall? I don't know. Maybe you need to be standing in front of it to really get the tallness of it. Let's go to the Bahar Nature Preserve and Carpenter Falls. Wow. That's incredible. Talk about getting close up to a waterfall. Instead of standing far away and looking at it from a distance, people seen in this photo are standing at the base where the water comes rushing down what looks like striated steps created by nature into this pool or lake or swimming hole. This is within the folds of farmland next to Skaneateles Lake, this beautiful forest surrounding Bear Swamp Creek. From the top of the hill, hikers are rewarded with views of Carpenter Falls, where the water drops nearly 90 feet into a steep ravine. You can explore the trail leading further down to the Bear Creek Swamp Gorge to see other waterfalls cascading all the way to the lakes. In 2008, the Finger Lakes Land Trust gave 36 acres to New York State, creating the Carpenter Falls unique area. It's a conserved area downstream open to the public, and it's pretty incredible looking. The Robert H. Tremon area, also beautiful. Not like other waterfalls that we've seen on the show before. Check this out. It's like a cascade of different waterfalls all in this little canyon area. Super pretty. They say Robert H. Tremon, also known as Enfield Glen, is a little harder to get to. So the initial part of the trail is flat and meandering for a mile, but as right about the time you hear the waterfall in the distance, then you can see the route out to the gorge. Wow, they say, isn't sufficient to describe this one. 115-foot Lucifer Falls is central, and the handsome stonework winding up the sheer cliff, they say, is completely remarkable. Watkins Glen State Park. Check out this one. I don't know if we'll have time for all of these today, but these are pretty incredible. Look at this picture. I mean, people are standing on the waterfall. Incredible. They say there's no place more iconic of the Finger Lakes waterfall and gorge experience than Watkins Glen State Park. Stunning waterfalls, dramatic flumes, picturesque potholes combining to make a really gorgeous waterscape. Stone staircases, arched bridges, winding tunnels that weave up and through this scenic gorge. It's called awe-inspiring. Stone sculpting. The gorge, they say, is a can't-miss trail for waterfall lovers and anyone seeking a true Finger Lakes experience. And we'll end on Grimes Glen Park because, wowzers, that's a beautiful waterfall right there. So green and lush. They say this is formed by gushing meltwaters at the end of the last ice age. Grimes Glen is typical of many Finger Lakes gorges that still carry runoff from uplands down into the ice-carved valleys below. 2 stunning 60-foot falls, accessible today by wandering upstream about a half mile from the parking area. They say you should expect to get your feet wet because the gorge narrows upstream to a point where there's no bank to speak of, which forces you to hike into the stream bed. And for much of the summer and fall, the creek bed is easily navigable, but during spring runoff, it's really strong and turbulent. So if you're headed that way, keep it in mind. But how beautiful. So, so pretty. Oh, I might have to show you one more, really. I wasn't planning on it, but oh, wow. Look at that as you stand back. That's an incredible picture of this major waterfall just gushing over this hillside, this cliffside. It's an impressive gorge at Letchworth State Park, so broad and so deep that some people call it the Grand Canyon of the East. The mighty Genesee River roaring through this gorge, descending in 3 major waterfalls tucked between steep cliffs, more than 60 miles of hiking trails, extraordinary waterfall viewing. They say Letchworth State Park is an absolute must-see. So I hope it brought you a little bit of peace this Waterfall Wednesday. Thank you for being with me for it. And thank you, Debbie Sanchez, for coming through with a $10 super sticker. So, so appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, we will do it from San Francisco. Mark will be in the city for the San Francisco Fall Show. So it'll be interesting to see the setup and where what the backdrop is and where he's broadcasting from. That's tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, 11 a.m. here on YouTube. And then tomorrow here on the After Party Live is Trivia Thursday. So that's going to be good. Oh, Jennifer's like, Kim, it's YouTube. You can run long. It's the radio person in me, you know? I feel like I'm still stuck in the past where, the ABC News is going to come at the top of the hour. I better stop yapping. Plus, I know you guys have a life to get to too, and I don't want to keep you that long. But thank you for that. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here and for the comments and for participating in the show the way you guys do. I really couldn't do it without you. I was thinking about last night how lucky I am that you guys seem to want this show, want me to do the show, want it to continue. And so that we will. Thank you for participating in Waterfall Wednesday. Hope you're ready for Trivia Thursday tomorrow. It's going to be fun. If you have any suggestions for trivia topics, please email me, kim@theafterparty.live. And I did want to make a note because I saw yesterday Lee Kopp posted something that I missed in the chat when I went back through after the show and read it. We talked about the Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Festival yesterday, and Lee says his band Jim Stevens and Friends plays the Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Festival every year, and this year they're on the main stage Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in Half Moon Bay. So go see them if you're headed to the Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Festival. We talked about it yesterday about the horrible traffic getting to and from, but if you were planning to go, maybe you're going to get there early. Go check out Jim Stevens and Friends and Lee in the band. It's going to be good. Going to be good. I love that. I'm sorry I won't be there to see you rocking it, but I know that you will. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. Make it a really good one. And again, I will see you tomorrow here on YouTube. Until then, bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.